Hey everyone, I'm Olivia. I am a senior OSR on the tech side here on the sourcing team. I'm going to run through today an ideal profile for a full stack software developer. Now, just a quick little disclaimer here. I just want to mention that most of the software dev profiles, whether you're looking for full stack or back end engineer, typically these types of people can fit in a number of different teams here at Salesforce. So that's always something I keep in mind that we can sell these people to a couple different teams as they do have profiles that overlap in terms of skill sets they're looking for. So, always something to keep in mind. Anyways, let's move on to what that ideal profile looks like. So first I just want to bring you over to this quick doc where I'm referencing, going through a couple little check boxes here to make sure, that they meet all the criteria for what the ideal Salesforce software developer profile would look like. So let's just jump over to his LinkedIn, back to where we were just at. So this is Guillaume. He is a software engineer that I've been on and off in contact with over the last year or so. Initially, when I reached out, he wasn't interested. He ended up reaching back out to me not too long ago, and we got him back in play here at Salesforce. He is currently interviewing here, so clearly he is a fit in terms of what we're looking for, given that hiring managers are already speaking to him right now. So let's kind of jump into his profile and start running through some of the checkboxes here. So as you can see, he has around close to, I would say, about 5 years of experience. Right now, he is a software engineer over at Synopsys. And while Synopsys isn't, a SaaS company, they are still a big company that is well known in Silicon Valley. So always kind of good to pull from big companies, whether they are a SaaS company or not. So first and foremost, let's jump into what we're looking for. Education. So typically, as far as software engineers here go, it is a preference for the software engineer to have a master's degree. So as you can see, he does have a master's degree. While it isn't from here in the United States, he still does have a master's degree. Typically, it is preferred that it's probably here in the US. However, it's okay. It's not going to, pull him out of the process just for that. So let's click there on education. He has a master's degree. Company, let's jump back into that. As mentioned, he is working over at Synopsys, a well-known company here in Silicon Valley. So, for me, that kind of jumped out when I didn't necessarily recognize a couple of these other companies, but because he does work at Synopsys, and he's been there for about 3 years, I figured, hey, it was worth a reach out to see what he's doing over there. Clearly, he references he is part of the platform team. So company, can check that off as well. And then how long has he been there for? So 2 years, 7 months. He's almost been there for 3 years now. Definitely not a job hopper. Anyone that's kind of going anywhere, less than a year, bouncing from company to company, they're not going to be a fit here. Hiring managers don't like that. They want to see longevity and loyalty to a company to make sure that, they're going to be able to do that here at Salesforce as well. So we can check that as well. And then location. So clearly he is in San Francisco Bay Area, so already a fit. I remember when I spoke to him, he did mention that he lived in San Francisco as well. So perfect fit in terms of where we're looking to hire. And then skill set and relevancy. So I am looking for a full stack software developer. So in here, you can see where he mentions maintaining existing web applications. He mentions HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all front-end technologies over here. And then if we just scroll down a little bit to his skills and expertise, he also mentions some, back-end languages as well. So he mentions Java, he mentions, SQL as a database, so he obviously has some database experience. He mentions PHP, Python, all things that would be used in terms of the back end. So it looks like he has that full stack skill set. Obviously, you're never going to really know until you speak to them, but it's pretty clear just from his skills and expertise that he does have that full stack background. So good fit in terms of skill set. And then industry, as I did touch on, he is working at Synopsys, so not necessarily a SaaS company, but that's okay. It doesn't matter necessarily that they come from a SaaS company. So it's fine in terms of, industry. As I said, Synopsys is still a well-known company. And then extracurriculars. Now, this is not a must-have. This candidate doesn't necessarily have a ton of extracurricular things mentioned on here. He has a couple certifications, mentions he has a black belt here in judo. And then it looks like he has a couple recommendations from some people that, he has worked with in the past. So while extracurriculars are not a must-have, it's always nice to have. So just kind of a bonus there. So let's check that off as well. And then going down to LinkedIn profile. This is his profile as mentioned. Typically, a lot of software engineers don't have a ton on their profile, so always important to know that while you may not see a lot on their profile, it's always good to cross-reference maybe some of their other social media websites, looking them up on Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, any of those other types of resources where you can see what else they're doing. So that is a profile for a full stack software developer here at Salesforce. Here is a perfect example of, again, somebody that would move through to a hiring manager screen. And as we have seen, we've checked off all the boxes. So we're good to go and ready to move him forward over to a hiring manager. Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys.